right? Which is good for me as the airline company, right? Because you've checked in, right? I know whether or not you're going to be there, and now that you've checked in your luggage, you will be nicely sitting and waiting for that plane to take off, and you will be anxious for that plane to take off because you've been waiting for the plane to take off because you came early, because you had to check in your luggage, right? Which is great for Southwest, right? Because they want all their little ducks, big D ducks, in a row, right? Waiting for, that's a joke, that's fine. They want all their ducks in a row waiting to get like on board, right? Because they want people to get on that plane fast, right? So between Jonathan and Sarah's point, right, that the free checked luggage.
Does that also count into customer management systems?
Yeah, I would totally throw that in there also, right? So free checked luggage, I would say, is get people checked in earlier. And Ellie's right, it's less convenient for the customer, right? But you get 2 free checked bags, right? But on Southwest side, you get people to check in earlier. You get people to board faster. To Sarah's point, they're not fiddling, right, with the overhead compartments. Board and de-board faster, because now they are not taking up the aisle, waiting for their luggage to pull down their luggage, and like everybody else is backing up behind them, right? Either getting on the plane or getting off of the plane, because there are 2 parts to turning that plane over, getting people off and getting people on that plane, right? So I would imagine they probably had some analyst somewhere, right, do the calculations on how much money they're losing by not collecting $25, right, per bag, and how many bags there actually are, because it's a short flight and most people aren't checking bags in, right? So they probably did that calculation of the opportunity cost of not collecting those $25, and matching that up with how much time are we saving, right? How quickly can we turn that plane over in the air, like at the gate? Yeah.
Just a little tangent. You know when you check your bag, it goes through all the chutes and ladders and on that truck or whatever. Does the airline pay some kind of leasing or rental to the airport to use it?
Yes. So there are terminal fees that are paid, and it's rolled up into, so a terminal fee you can consider as like terminal and gate fees, your access to usage of the airport. So it not only includes like you get to use our runways and our air control towers, but you know the electricity and you can think of it as like your maintenance fee on a condo or something like that, right? So you know you are sharing in the facilities, so you do pay for it in a way, but you also have to kind of put in your own infrastructure there too. So the baggage carts, maybe the type of conveyor belt, the length of the conveyor belt, how it's laid out, you, Southwest Airlines, actually pay for it, right? But the ongoing usage of the other parts of the airport, like maybe your baggage cart has to travel on a road, right? You pay your share in that too. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a couple of things, more than a couple things, that enables the fast turnaround at a gate. Why do we, oh yeah.
They also don't have the first class, is seat first.
Yeah.
Because many airplanes, they have that because they want to make more money, but they don't have that because they want to have the fast turnaround.
How does not having class differentiation speed up seating?
Because planes usually give the first class to go first. Or come first. So if they don't have that, like all seats are the same and all people leave at the same time.
So that's to drive the first come first serve part then. Okay, yeah. Oops. Okay, so no class differences means that it's first come first serve, which means people come, race to the seat that they want, and then also check in early.
But they lose money.
Again, right? So they've done some sort of calculation, right? Like, how much am I foregoing? What's the opportunity cost of not charging all that business class and first class? So I'm giving up that money in order to gain fast turnaround time. But I'm gonna take your comment one step further. So why do I care about turnaround time?
Because people value on time.
Okay, so you're saying that I sacrifice all of that to do this. Okay, I can do that, Jonathan.
I was gonna look at faster turnaround is if you book more flights, you're not really considering like, all the extra benefits of, upgrading your seat. Cause all the bread and butter is coming from the money from the flights rather than upgrading the seat. You know what I'm trying to say? So rather than, earning money from, getting somebody to book business or first class, they're banking in on more flights in and out. So rather than get money from upgrades, getting more money from doing the flight.
What do you mean by doing the flight?
Or getting, more, more flight frequency.
So you're saying if I turn around the planes faster,
You don't have to worry about having to invest in, a business class, first class and all that.
well, that's a different argument then, right? Then you're saying I don't offer business and first class because I'm trying to decrease this by not having a first class area or a business class area. But that wasn't your first argument. No, am I interpreting something incorrectly? Your first argument was actually more interesting.
I think I hear what he's saying.
Okay.
They're kind of like McDonald's, right? They're gonna sell 100,000 hamburgers at $1 a piece as opposed to a $100 hamburger once, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're doing? Is that what, I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to get at, yeah.
Well, that'll be like Qatar, right? Airways, or Singapore Air versus Southwest, right? The super expensive. It's okay if I'm totally empty type of thing, versus the Walmart or Mickey D's model here, which is fine, but that still doesn't explicitly get me a line between what turnover does for me, Maddie.
I would say that based on the business class and regular class, if they don't have to worry about the business class, then they will usually fly like full plane instead of empty, because sometimes they might not fill up the business class because it's a lot more expensive. So they will actually fly full, and then the turnaround will be faster because they won't have to worry about spending more time on the business class. Based on the check-in, whether they have to see, oh, this one is first class, this one is.
Oh, so you're saying that, well, at least the class differences, first come, first serve, and then also maybe it's a fast turnaround because you've decreased complexity,
Yes.
which, okay, decreased complexity equals faster administration, maybe? Administration at the gate, okay, Sarah?
I think kind of where we're all like trying to go is like, the amount of money you're gonna make per per first class seat is like marginal compared to an entire like new flight that you could possibly complete in the time that you're spending on like providing that extra service to them.
Mm-hmm.
So like you could be making more money serving a first class section, but that money is like marginal compared to like the money you could be making on an entire extra flight.
So, yeah, and Ellie, did you want to add on that or clarify that?
It's a little different, but maybe they're because they're already spending less money buying smaller planes from the company.
Well, their planes are relatively small. It's a very small footprint,
Right,
but
they have smaller crew members,
fewer.
fewer crew members and fewer customers, right? So this just makes it much more faster to.
I don't know if I completely buy that one.
I mean,
Did
since,
you-
I
did you
have
wanna-
something to add to Sarah's point,
Yeah.
because these planes are relatively small, first-class spaces take up physically more space.
Let me back off of this first class, business class, whatever thing, because we have all those other things that Southwest has done in order to achieve a fast turnaround. Not just we don't do first class versus business class. They do all that other stuff in order to get to a fast turnaround. So, although you started off your argument as, hey, we don't do these classes because we want a fast turnaround, your latter half of the explanation was, could fit any of these, right? Because
Yeah.
the result that you were describing is we could squeeze in an extra flight.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to a restaurant where it's like just packed, like say Cheesecake Factory, and you go in the peak period and the server does not upsell you dessert? Because they would rather turn that table over and get the next like group of 4 people in because they make more money off of the next group than that incremental business class cheesecake that you will linger over for like the next 20 minutes, right? So if you think of like the short flight, LA, San Francisco, hour, right? Hour. Say we do that like 9 times in a day. If I save 10 minutes each one of those hours, right, on that turnover, I've saved myself like 90 minutes, right? Which means another flight between LA and San Francisco. That's the extra table turn, right? Screw selling $25 bags, right? Or, you know, an upgrade for, you know, $50 or something like that. I get a whole nother plane full of people. Hell a lot more money, right? This enables this, right? I squeeze in one more flight, and that's just one market, right? If I can turn that table, turn that plane over faster, I do this without having to buy another plane on my credit card. Because nobody's plunking down straight up cash for that plane either, right? If I can use what I have more efficiently, right? Boom, boom, boom. 3 things, right, that I can do. Okay, so I am assuming by the wrestling we are at the end of class. Still a lot more to unpack out of Southwest. Thank God you guys exist, because there's actually a decent recording of content for the people who aren't here because of Taste of the Bay. Enjoy Taste of the Bay. We'll continue on with more info stuff on Tuesday, and then maybe go into a little bit more analysis and opinion stuff on Tuesday as well. Enjoy.
Yeah.